I started with 16 litres, including the warm-ups, climb outs, etc. So let's go and see what the aircraft performs like. If you've seen the previous video about the little secret, if you're in America and you're watching this, what do you call these machines? I've heard the word delta wing. 7 minutes to get down and then backtrack and shut down.
So everyone, and welcome to the channel. Those that are new, those that are old, I hope you're enjoying the content at the moment, and I say always like to see the comments that you provide in the comments section. Say today is another 9 video. I'm just really getting used to this aircraft now and dialing myself into it and understanding what goes on and what it likes and what it doesn't like. The main thing we're going to chat about today is this little lump here. Now, there are fans of Polini, there are not fans of Polini, there are horror stories and there are success stories of any engine, be it a Rotax, be it a Mosta, Mini Plane, Viterazzi, Atom 80, or any of the brands of engines. And say today I'm going to go up and we're going to talk about this engine. Now, the main point I want to do is I want to fly from start up to finish for 1 hour and work out what that fuel burn is. So it's not going to be any hard climbs, it's not going to be any messing around at the airfield or doing engine failures or what I've been doing on the other flights, but basically I'm going to go out, fly for an hour from engine on to engine off and see what the fuel burn is. So if you've got this far in the video, let me know what you think the litres per hour is going to be for this flight, and then we'll let's see what happens at the end. So anyway, join you in the comments section. See what I have to put up with in the background. What's it like up there? I don't know. Long day.
I don't know. I've been asleep.
You've been asleep? Is that the standard instructor position, is it?
Go around.
It's been a long day already, but we're enjoying that thing up there.
We're flying, mate.
We're flying.
Actually flying.
It's my day off and I'm going flying as well.
No. See, normally that's everyone complains that it's not flyable on their day off.
Yeah.
And we're the other way around, isn't it? It's always flyable on our day off. That means we don't actually get to do any flying.
Yeah. So, yeah. Our fuel burn. This will make a great edit clip at the end if anyone gets to the end of the video, you'll see this. I put my left glove on my right hand and my right hand glove on my left hand. How much of a silly Billy am I? But I do like these little lanyards because I don't like dropping anything. So those that fly flex wing or open cockpit, how do you stop things flying away? Apart from tying them on all around. Ignition is on. Clip up. Choke on. It's almost like this engine needs a bit of a ground idle. Okay, and we started at 4:15, which is technically 3:15. So as I said in the intro, without being interrupted by Mark, which is always fun when Mark interrupts the intro, we're going to go up and I'm going to fly for an hour. Try and time it to within the nearest minute or two. So engine start was 14:17 on by that by the clock on the GPS. And so once we've done all the warm-ups, etc., then we'll go off, take off, fly around, come back, taxi in and shut down, and that should give a realistic figure of what this uses on a 1 hour flight. Once I've got that, that's the benchmark, which means I'll be allowed to understand where I can go and what I can do with the aircraft. So understanding your fuel burn is always critical. As much as I've got a fuel gauge, knowing what you burn an hour is probably the easiest thing. And I know I've said this about the Tiggy, knowing exactly what I've got, but they're accurate, relatively accurate figures. I've just got a gauge, a sliding gauge on this, bit on the screen now. So I don't know what it's burning. Anyway, I am talking purely because I want the aircraft to warm up. And I'm going to go and start doing my my checks. Oh, it's very smoky. Everyone that's been coming back today has said there's almost minimal wind, but a few lumps and bumps, but very smooth above the cloud. But the clouds are now lifting as is the end of the day. Dynamo traffic to any call signs. Golf Charlie Mike Romeo Foxtrot radio check over.
Mike Foxtrot, your radio check is 5 easily.
Cool.
Much better than normal then. I can't hold it more than 6,000 RPM. Oh dear. So the brake on these is more for ground idle, etc. In terms of just keeping the aircraft controlled. It's not going to stop you on a dime, and especially on certain surfaces. This was just sliding across the floor. If there's any slippery surfaces, it'll just lock up and you'll just keep going in the same direction. So ultimately the brake is just for ground control at the end of the day. Which makes power checks before takeoff a bit more interesting. Anyway, I think we're all good for checks. Do you know what? Let's go fly. Dynamo traffic Golf Charlie Mike Romeo Foxtrot lining up for runway 01 for immediate departure. Dynamo. Quick check, make sure no one else is coming in. No one in the overhead. The funny thing I found with this engine is that temps all look good on the ground, and the moment you get through moving airflow at 50 odd mile an hour, the thing just cools right down again. Can't seem to keep the engine warm, which is a bit of an irony with a two-stroke engine. Dynamo traffic Golf Romeo Foxtrot immediate departure runway 01. Dynamo. Fire neutral, wings level. I'm all set, all checks complete. Let's go. Full power achieved. Fields to the right look good.
Charlie Mike traffic, Golf November Oscar, lining up on runway 01 for departure. John Oscar.
And that's John on the radio. So the main thing with this aircraft is trying to find where the hands-off trim is to maintain level flight. And it's about 6'2", 6'3" is where it kind of sits. Maybe in a 6'3", 6'4", 6,400 RPM for level flight. At the moment, I still want to try and do a little bit of a cruise climb, but I'm not going to be doing full power climbs. So a nice little cruise climb will do me nicely. Still looking for any fields if I have an engine out. And that's another interesting question for those that actually fly single seat or anything. How often do you practice engine failures? Even those that are paramotorists that follow the channel, when was the last time you actually practiced an engine failure to see how your glider responds in different conditions? Yeah, really interesting sort of concepts to go, if I had an engine failure now, where would I go? And always ask that so what, as Jim Greenshield said to me when I first started this, even with in Rotax, 912 we trust, it's not an if, it's a when. And I kind of noticed there was a trend one year, maybe just me observing it, that there were more engine failures of 4 strokes in fields than there were 2 strokes. And so for me that was quite an interesting sort of go, why are the 4 strokes in the fields and not the 2 strokes? Maybe it's just a commonality of numbers, I don't know. But no, in short, today is just going to be a nice little flight around Derbyshire. Whether you get me or the wing cam, I hope you stick with me. If you've seen the previous video about the little secret, I hope if there's anyone in the Tampa Bay, Florida area that can get to Sun and Fun, come and say hello. I'll be on the blue collar aviation stand on the, I'm not sure which section it is. I've personally never been to Sun and Fun, so I'm generally quite excited to sort of see what goes on and what it is like from a British flying perspective in America. So that's going to be quite interesting. A big shout out to Ed Walker. I know he's already booked his work flight across, so Ed, come and say hello. I've got a little gift for you on the stand, so come and say hello, mate. And anyone else, if you've seen this clip and you come to Sun and Fun, just say hi Giles, just come and say hello. It'll be great to meet the American followers of the channel. Yeah, hopefully I'm not gibbering on too much. I'll probably do a bit of a debrief at the end, so if the cameras do all run out or don't come back on, etc., I hope you've enjoyed the flight. A little bit of music, because Derbyshire, say there's sunshine at the moment. I'm not sure which wing cam will see it. I might just do a quick orbit here. Yeah, just do a quick orbit here around Old RAF Ashbourne. So I fly from Old RAF Darley Moor, RAF station, and this underneath me right now is Old RAF Ashbourne, where the industrial estate is. Not sure how much of my head cam will see that, but you can still see the old triangular runways, and especially in summer you can see all the old dispersal sort of loops, pinheads or whatever the aircraft used to be. There's one down there, it's got sand all over it. But yeah, our old heritage of RAF airfields is definitely disappearing under industrial estates and houses. About 6364 is definitely treating this aircraft quite nicely for the cruise, so let's go and see what it does for the hour. How far in now? We're about 15 minutes in, so yeah, join you at the end, or if you just want to enjoy the music bit now, I will see you very much at the end of the flight to discuss the figures. I started with 16 litres, including the warm-ups, climb outs, etc. So let's go and see what the aircraft performs like. It'd be interesting for me actually to do a nice hour flight on this aircraft, stretch its legs a bit. Feels like it's the first I've been in it. Join you in a bit. Battery's running low. I have a funny feeling this camera is going to finish very soon. I've got 12 minutes to go before I need to be engine stopped, so but hopefully the head cam and the wingtip cam are still running. 11 minutes to go. If you're in America and you're watching this, what do you call these machines? I've heard the word delta wing, but I'm not quite sure why it's called a delta wing. Right. See if we can get into the circuit. Dynamo traffic, Golf Charlie Mike Romeo Foxtrot, inbound from the southwest, 3 miles to run for overhead join for runway 01, Darley Moor. I know there's another aircraft in the circuit, but I'm not quite sure where. Rejoin check's done. I've actually got cold fingers now, so heated gloves going on. I know it's the end of the flight, but I've got cold fingers. Darley Moor traffic, Golf Romeo Foxtrot, dead side for runway 01, Darley Moor. 7 minutes to get down, and then backtrack and shut down. And there's the aircraft on final. He's on a missed approach. Darley Moor traffic, Golf Romeo Foxtrot, downwind runway 01, Darley Moor. It's been quite an interesting experiment this, really. Clear final high and low. Darley Moor traffic, Golf Romeo Foxtrot, final runway 01 hard, Darley Moor. And visual the aircraft on the downwind leg. Right, nose wheel straight. Forward flow flyby. Haven't heard that in a while, have you? I am really high. There we go. All the way down the runway. Oh, that was a nice one. I'm getting more dialed into this wing. Ooh, see? The brake just locks up. Let's go back. Dynamo traffic, Golf Romeo Foxtrot, backtracking runway 01 hard, Dynamo. And he's still there. Hopefully I should clear the runway for him. Dun, dun, dun. Right. Let's get off the runway. Oh, my hands are heating up now. That's quite nice. And I will be off the active before he's even wheeled down. Well, that was enjoyable, and hopefully this camera's still working. Can't believe it lasted 10 minutes on flashing end of battery. So in terms of openness and honest, I started the engine at 14, 16 here. It's now 15, it's the hour at 15, so 1 minute short. So let's look at turning that off. Ignition, everything looks good there, off and off. Cool, right, see you in the other camera.
Right, so this is pretty much the outro to the video, so let's look at the figures of what I've got, and you'll see on the screen now this tank is sitting dead on 10 litres, and I started with 16 litres dead as well. So, and this flight profile from a startup, taxi, or sorry, startup, warm-up, taxi, take off, flying around the area, hands off trim, taxi back in, shut down, I've used 6 litres in an hour on a flight profile. So I think that's pretty good considering it's a 38 horsepower engine. It's a wing that's got a hands-off trim between 50 and 55. I was getting between 52 and 53 miles an hour hands-off trim, and that was me doing it in different directions. There's minimal wind today, so it was very easy to work out where the speed gains were. A few times I pulled the bar in a touch, and I was up to 60 mile an hour on the ground speed without the blink and not much more power. The other thing, RPM for this flight was between 6,200 and 6,300, and the engine for most of the flight stayed absolutely stable, and I was really happy with that. We've got noise of John coming back in as well. And so in all, wrapping this video up, I think those figures are really useful in terms of planning figures. So if I'm getting a real world figure of 6 litres an hour, I'm going to plan on 7 litres an hour as a rough bar if I want to go if I've got a different flight profile. So 7 litres an hour planning figure, 6 litres per hour as a real world figure. If you've got any questions about the engine, the setup I'm doing, or any more facts and figures about the 9, then please drop them in the comments. I wonder if any of you did drop an initial comment in and predict what the fuel burn was. So if you did predict 6 litres an hour, well done. Other than that, we'll wrap this video up here. I'm going to put the aircraft away and go home happy. But other than that, until next time, everybody, fly safe.